Okay. Wow, it's been a while since I've done pinball, so this should be good. Oh, you know what? Friday night, pinball. I need some beer. We got another Wellington Brewery Hazy American Pale Ale. So it's like American beer, but with flavor. So it's good stuff. So nice. And by the way, there's a number of American beers I do like, just not many of the mainstream ones. But anyway, I digress. It's been a while since I've played, and I figure what better game to start with than Attack from Mars. So, oh, it's been so long since I played this. Made my skill shot. Um, oh, I haven't played much pinball in a while. It's really been a while since I played any. I did play some real pinball last week, and it was good. Flippers feel laggy. That's weird. It's almost like the fast flips are turned off. Which, I haven't updated this in a while, so who knows what's going on. But, it was fun. I played this at my buddy's house, and we were both just all full of choke. This score here is not far off of what we did for a whole game on a couple of games. It was, well, he's got one of those remakes, and I don't like the action on the remakes as much as I do the original ones. I've got to figure out what's going on with that. Also, I want to make sure I've got fast flips turned on. Granted, I've had this spinning for like an hour after work while I went off and did some other stuff. But, I mean, this really is a classic game. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's something going on. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just the fact it's been sitting with no activity for a while. Not sure, but it just doesn't play right. Here, let's get out of the game. So I hit my button, and I can go to the script real quickly. And what I can do is I can scroll down here, and use solenoids is set to 2. So that is the fast flip. So I mean, that's what you want. That should eliminate the latency. It could be the other stuff I've got running in the background. So anyway, people who've got cabinets at home are probably familiar with the kind of setup I've got here. The play field is your primary display. So if I right click and I go to display settings, oh, there it is above my back glass, and you can see, well, first off, you see the orientation. Even though they're laid out differently in real life, the computer thinks they're set up with 1, 2, 3. And if I hit identify, I don't think that's actually going to broadcast. But the playfield is 1, back glass is 2, and then my DMD is number 3, with the main playfield having to be on the primary display in order to work with Visual Pinball 10. So anyway, where does that take me? What's the whole point of this right now? So this machine, first and foremost, I built to play pinball on. I love pinball. It's a lot of fun. But I'm going to switch the focus here just to the back glass screen. I'm going to turn off that. One of my other loves is the light gun games. I love going to the arcade, playing some light gun games. And I'm real happy I backed this on Kickstarter. I'm also happy I'm one of the first 100 to get a beta, so I've been doing some testing. One of the early tests that I had to do was how it would work on screen number 2, because I want to use my back glass for the game. The problem is the first generation of beta code wouldn't allow me to pick a secondary screen, so I was stuck. I'd have to go in, I'd have to change my screen settings, and then, and so I had to choose whether I was going to play pinball or whether I was going to play light gun games. Well, the good news is we've got new code. Here is the latest beta test version. I don't even think this one's really up on the website yet. This was shared with me because I'm one of the few people testing on a cabinet. Anyway, you select your light gun. It even knows it's blue. I think that's kind of cool. And then the configuration, you've got, how long before the light gun goes to sleep. And you can see it sleeping because I haven't actually pushed a button or anything there. I hit the button. Anyway, a lot of configuration stuff. But the border, so check this out. When using multiple displays, this is what's new in this beta build here, is down at the bottom where I got the cursor. It says when using multiple displays, draw the border on the following display. So 0 would be my primary. That's screen number 1. Number 1 is actually screen number 2. I can do a little math. It's easy. And then number 3 is my backglass, or not the backglass, the DMD. So I can choose which of the screens I want the border to be on, which lets me play my games. And then when I go to alignment, you can tweak things here. You can choose your offset. Right now I'm doing everything in zeros because MAME does a really good job of calibrating your light gun. And I know you've seen me play this before, but I love this game. And I've got everything set up. So I can put a credit in. Okay, I said I can put a credit in. Of course not. Oh, I got to put the border around it. So you hit this button. So there's my border. That's the thin border. Really nice. Now I can, I'll drop quarter here. So I'm using the pinball input for the quarter. I think I monkeyed with the settings. Okay, so the play start's still there. And I'm still only beginner stage with this. I haven't gotten that good with it. But I have gotten rid of the cursor, so I can play this like I should. I'm using strictly the sights of the gun, and let's shoot some things. So you can see that I'm actually hitting what I'm aiming at without any realistic delay. Ooh! I actually flinched as I was pulling the trigger. So, anyway, I made the score, beat the level, have a beer. That seems like a pretty good standard. So, protect Dr. Dan and Dr. Down from the hot torches. We can do this. So, here we go. Torch be gone. Oh, I couldn't do it. I was almost there. I was going too slow. Okay, let's just do a regular old shooting gallery here. See how this works. How do we do? 35? Nice. And have a beer. So I got one shot to shoot this leaf. 5 seconds to line it up. Oh! And I shoot to the right. So, not the best of things. But I still have a life left. I can do this. This one here, I have trouble. One of the things I have noticed with this latest beta build is like every 10th trigger pull or something, it doesn't register. I haven't been counting, but I do need to give that feedback. I don't think it's my system. I do think it's this latest beta code. And that's part of the joy of troubleshooting beta code. Did I do it? Whew, I did it. Okay. Okay. Let's shoot the birdies. Don't shoot the bombs. Here we go. I can do this. See, I did a trigger pull there and didn't register. Again, I don't think it was quite 10, but definitely something that's happening with some frequency. And I haven't been counting, but I do get the feeling that it is on a cycle. So that leads me to think it's a firmware issue. How'd I do? Okay. So, and again, joys of beta testing. Still the best light gun experience I've had on an LCD display, bar none. Oh, I missed by one. Missed by one. Oh, I thought that was a pretty good run, too. So, anyway, I can continue the game. But here's the cool part. So I get rid of the border. I hit down the button. I've got to install the holster. It actually, there's a really sweet holster. One second. So this holster here is extruded plastic that perfectly lines up with the Sinden light gun. So I can have this on the side, and I can actually mount it the other way around, so it'll mount either right side or left side. And then I can just keep it right down there so that when I'm not playing, it's out of the way. Couple screws, 2 minutes work. I just have to do it. So anyway, that is the system. So now let me get my cursor back. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my tables, which, again, whatever I'm in the mood for. Let's play another one of my old favorites. What do I want to play? Oh, there's so many great games. I know what I want to play. And, okay, Tron Legacy. There we go. That's what I'm after. So it's going to take a moment to load. Oh, I should change my screen over to, there we go. It's for pinball. So, and again, notice I'm not changing any settings. I'm just launching the game. If I was using a front end, it would have been a piece of cake to include this in the front end. So, I actually don't use front ends right now. I have done some playing around with front ends, and I do appreciate them. Hyperspin and Launchbox. I've actually got Pinball X, which is not a bad front end either. But because of how much tinkering around I do, changing games, updating code, changing directories, and I don't really have friends that come over and play this. They come over, they look at it and say, "Ooh, neat, gun, games." But most of my friends are pinball snobs and want real pinball. So, yeah, I call them pinball snobs. But you know what? I totally get it. We've got a lot of amazing pinball available. But I imagine the light guns will attract people. But yeah, as long as I'm tinkering and changing what emulators I'm running and what code I'm running, I've kind of passed on using the front ends for now. And there are some really nice ones out there. I've been quite impressed. I've seen some other streamers who've made some dedicated light gun front ends. I can't hit that shot. Okay, there's one shot. This one's running a little behind as well. I wonder if there's a... Yes, this is the G5K version of the table with the pinup popper, and it's been tweaked by Wax. He adjusts the... he gives me the opportunity to play some of the games with tweaked physics. So, and I tend to like Wax's physics on games better than the actual releases. And for anybody who's watching this on my YouTube replay, this was originally streamed on Twitch, where I do have live chat going on, and I'm able to respond. So, anyhow. So, again, play some pinball. It's like, you know what? I want to shoot some stuff. So let me close down the pinball game. Let me switch the camera over. And now I can go back here. And again, we can see this is Arcade 64, which is a really nice, I guess it's a front end of sorts. But, oh, what do I feel like playing? Oh, I know what I'm going to play. Not Golly Ghost. Wow, that's so bad. Where is it? There it is. Golgo 13. And I've played this before. So, you know, again, it's nothing really new. But the new thing here is me being able to switch between pinball and... oh, come on. I double-clicked. That means launch it. I should point out one of the things about the Arcade 64 front end is under the options, under the interface settings, not the interface settings, it's under the default games options, you can actually choose which screen it starts on. And this one, for whatever reason, it gives me 4 displays. I've only got 3. I'm not sure what the 4th one is, but through trial and error, I've discovered it's display number 2. It detects my resolution, which is a 1920 by 1080. And I just hit OK. Okay, and apparently I don't know how to double click, so I've gotten rid of the double click. And while that's loading, I am going to point out this super cool shirt from Double Danger Pinball. If you haven't checked out the shirts there, they're all pinball related, but I mean, look at that. Actually, probably the green screen's getting the monster, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So anyway, so this is Golgo 13. I need to put the border around it, so I hit the button here for the border. That brings it up, and it is loading the game. Now, something I'm noticing switching between them is the games are actually a little slower to swap. This is a first gen i7 in here with 8 gig of RAM. I'm guessing what I'm running into. Come on, put some quarters in. And I don't think I've recalibrated. One of the things I'm running into is my... so the joystick should be keeping track of things, or it should be keeping track. This is gun 4, so the button 1 and button, so a number of those are good, but okay, no, that's all right. So why is it not? Okay, there we go. And that registered. Hey, Wax, good to see you again, man. So here, it looks like I'm calibrated just a little. Yeah, sighting down. It's calibrated just a little to the left. So at this point, what I can do is I can actually go out of the game. Or I can hit, I think is that right? Yeah, so F2. So F2 takes us into the game options. So now using the player 1, player 2. So, whoop. So game cost. I think I gotta use F2. I think I need to dedicate a key to F2 if I'm going to be doing a lot of this gun game stuff. So I hit F2. Okay, what am I doing? So this goes. Okay, so the joystick's actually giving me. So let's do the gun initialization. So right there, so I'm sighted down the iron sights, and you can see how steady it is just off to the left. So start switches back. I'm going to hit the start button here. Let's see if that adjusts things. So select, switch chooses, enter enters. How do I get back? If I just hit F2, I guess. There we go. So let's see if this is calibrated or not now. If I did this correctly. So drop some coins. And trial shooting. This is not working so well right now. Huh. So I wonder if there's something going on with my inputs. Yeah, it took it that time. Oh, game sounds. Let me, so we want some game sounds. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm just going to crank up the game sounds. Okay. So I've officially borked the game sounds. I think I got the henchman. No. So, my bad. I didn't check the game sounds before I set everything back up again. I've been working from home a lot and using my webcam for work, so that's part of why I've been offline a lot lately. Why is it? So anyway, I'm sorry there's no sound. Thanks for calling that out on me, but it's something I have to make sure to double check before I stream again. But yeah, I'm actually not going to do too much more. I'll probably play one more quick game of pinball. So I'm going to turn that off. Yep, quit that. Let's turn off my light gun. So we'll stop. Turn that off. And let's do something classic. PKO, Gottlieb's, 1979. And I do think I need to go through and update a lot of stuff. I haven't. So one of the things I've learned is I have to adjust my back glasses on a lot of these games. So if I go here, I right click and I go small, turn that switch on, save settings, close, back to the game. So I'm going to leave it up for now because it doesn't matter that much. But what I could do is I could restart the game. Actually, I will. I'm not kidding. It bugs me. So So now when I launch the game, there we go. It's not all stretched out. That's good. So let's see how the action is on an EM game. I've cranked up the volume. Hopefully you can hear some of this coming out. Okay, the good news is the flippers feel better. So anything that's been running, I don't know if that's a side effect of having the Sinden configuration running in the background. What I should do is I should go back and play another game of Tron or AFM and see how that stacks up. I do love the flipper feel on VPX. I mean, you know, that kind of trap I just did right there, there's not many digital pinball games that'll let you do a flipper trap. Okay, good. And so the volume is ambient now. This is not... normally I have it... Oh, man. Could I play any worse? Trying to backhand those targets there on the right, but it keeps wanting to go. I feel like I should be able to backhand those. So this is one of the very last EMs that Gottlieb made. So let me... Okay. So anyway, like I said, I'm testing things out. I'm checking the balance between the light gun operation and the arcade operation. I am going to run Tron again, and what I'm checking for here is I'm checking the flipper lag, because while I was playing it before with the Sinden drivers running, I was getting a little bit of flipper lag, and flipper lag's evil. We just don't want it. So we can go visit our friends out at NCOM. Oh, yeah. Oh, and for people who don't know, the soundtrack, the Daft Punk soundtrack, is being re-released on vinyl in just a few days. So if you miss it the first time around and you're an audiophile, okay. So now the good news is my flippers are back to being wonderful flippers. So now my missed shots are my fault rather than lag. So the drivers are capturing the input from the light gun.
It was impressive.
So I think that the lag is really because I've just got too much going on this ancient system. It could be the bus that I'm using. Like I said, this is a first gen i7. So I'm using old DDR3 memory. But I do have the 1660 Ti graphics card in here, so I've got some speed on the graphics card. But the bus that handles the data is old. So I'm thinking that if I want to play, I mean, the light gun games don't suffer. The screen, nah, because this is playing beautifully right now. The only thing I've changed is turning off the so the only thing I've changed here is I've turned off the Sinden drivers. Well, I also turned off the front end for MAME, so maybe that was capturing input as well.
I'm Kafka, your host. Riddles of the great wizard.
There we go. That's what I was trying to do.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I know monitors have input lag. And then if you ever, one of the things I go on about in the forums is monitor input lag. These are proper gaming monitors I have. Nice. Ah, that was a bad bounce. Oh, but I get the multi-ball back.
She's an ISO.
I didn't deserve to get that ball back. I didn't mean to throw it away either, but
It was a coup.
yeah, you're absolutely right. The displays can introduce a ton of lag. That's true of the light gun. Any game that you play can suffer from input lag. Some of the TVs include a video game mode that takes away some of the TV features to reduce the lag. And there are databases online that keep track of reported input lag.
Battle Rinsler for Disc War Multiball.
But I don't know if you can tell the difference. The first time I played this earlier, I couldn't make any shots. I had very poor ball control, and that was a lot of that was due to the lag. Now my reflexes are right there. I've got the gameplay where I expect it to be. There's my disc multi-ball. And then there were two. Oh, all done. Okay, let's see if I can get this restart here. There's my restart. Oof. Not a bad game.
Next event.
You know what? Tron is awesome. And so you start with the basic playfield layout from Funhouse, which is one of Lawler's better games in my opinion. And then tweak it a bit. You know, it's like, okay, so the middle shot is now your disc multi-ball. The shot to the left of that, instead of being the mirror, is Cora. You got your left ramp, you got a left orbit. You still have 2 shots off to the right. I mean, it's Funhouse. But add to it the visuals and deeper rules and that awesome Daft Punk soundtrack. And it is a fantastic game. And you know what? The Pro model with the ramps added is all you need. I know that the special edition or the LE, whatever it is awesome as well. But the light changing color ramp really makes the game. So, I know I'm cutting this short, but it's Friday night, and I've got my wife and the house all to ourselves and a pitcher of martinis waiting for me. So I did want to show... Okay, so let's just do one more quick test. So, excuse me, what I'm doing... so I am going to go, where's my new update? I probably have it underneath. Yeah, right there. Let's bring it over here. So this is the new update that allows me to do the multiple screens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch that. I'm going to just hit start. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving these things. So, and one of the things I'm going to show you is it is a camera. So the light gun's got a camera on it. Let me do that and make it easier to see. So if you look, you can see the whole thing pointing and tracking in pretty much real time, which is why it's so responsive. This is the whole secret of why Sinden, and it also explains why. Oh, check that out. It's going to my back glass instead. Hold on a second. Let me do a change in the configuration. So now I'm going to say the border, and it's, instead of 0, I'm going to say screen 1. I guess it didn't save that last time. So now when I hit my border button, there we go. We're on the right screen. So I'm going to let this sit off to the side and run. And I'm going to just see, with that running, what happens to Tron. Because, like I said, I was just playing at 0 lag. So what I'm checking is if the lag was from the light gun running or if it was from having MAME running. I think this is a really good test to look into. Let's hit play. Let's go back to this layout for the display. And I just don't get tired of this game. I know I'm teasing and comparing it to Funhouse. If the two of them are side by side, this is the one I want to play. Okay, so I'm happy to say that this is nice and responsive. So I think that the delay I was experiencing was from having the MAME front end running, and it was probably capturing inputs.
Battle Rinsler for Identity Disc Multi-Ball.
So good. So it's not actually the Sinden driver causing the lag. It was it was having basically 2 instances of emulators running at the same time, capturing inputs.
It was impressive, really.
So anyway, that's really good news. Finish the ball, drink a beer. It's fine. I usually don't play the game this loud. I was watching the ball sitting in the launch lane, bouncing around, because I've got the nudge sensor about 4 inches away from the subwoofer in the cabinet. Which is really not a good layout. But usually I don't play it that loud, so... I do this so you can hear the game. Okay, let's see if I can get at least one of these multi-balls going. There we go. Light cycles to start with. So I've got the Zeb's board in here. So Zeb's board is providing me both the plunger and the nudge sensing. This is the version 2. I've actually had the version... Actually, I've had all 3 versions of his boards in here. So, yeah, you really can't see it too well, but I do have an actual plunger. Okay. So that makes me happy, because that means that I can have the Sinden driver running in the background. Oh, yeah, I didn't have any trouble with heat in my... And then again, I've got a lot of ventilation in the back of my cabinet, so I have never really had heat problems there. But I find that I prefer the version 2 to the version 3 for the Zeb's board, because with version 3, he ended up putting the nudge sensor onto the plunger. And on games where I get heavy-handed and have to plunge a lot, even though during a plunge action it doesn't register a nudge, sometimes my hand hits the plunger before it registers the nudge action. And World Cup 94 is a good example. When you get into the ball at the end, you literally have to keep plunging to keep the game going. And when I hit that mode, I just tilt out with my old Zeb's board version 3, but I haven't had that problem at all since I went back to version 2. So if anybody wants a version 3 really cheap, reach out to me offline, and I'm happy to hook you up on the cheap, because I'm not going to use it, even though it's good. I'm not going to badmouth it too much. I felt the 2 was better, and so I've got the luxury of being able to switch between them. So anyway. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I know this is a short run, but again, I mostly wanted to show very clearly the Sinden will work on a pin cabinet, and it's awesome. I'm so happy to have the flexibility to play multiple game types and be able to do the kind of early testing I've been doing. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay healthy, keep on flipping. Where's my offline? There we go.